Now, I know what you're thinking, and the man who took over Carnival 2024 that I would have mentioned before, no, not Mikhail Teja. He was part of the team, but I'm actually going to be chatting this morning, or we are going to be chatting this morning with one of the men behind the scenes, because oftentimes in the music industry, we see the people who perform on stage, and we see them as the front runners, and we think that they did all the work. They didn't do all the work. They do some of the work. But behind the scenes, you have people like our next guest, Mr. Michael Montano, a.k.a. Tano.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Not a problem. Who does a lot of the work? Tano, good morning and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Now, for those of you who don't know, if you didn't read the article in the Express, Tano's been responsible for many of the hit songs that we enjoyed this Carnival 2024. Two of which you just saw, DNA, Runaway from Mikhail Teja. You also did work with Marshall Montano for Soul of Calypso.
Correct.
Did some work with Kes for Attack Back. Did some work with Kutain for Junction, one of my favorite songs for Carnival 2024. Tano, how you feeling after the season is finished now? How you feeling?
I feel like I can now, like, just looking at the music videos, I feel like it's now, I can look back and say, wow, it really was an amazing, blessed season, you know, and I'm just grateful for all the music, you know, so. Yeah.
I'm grateful for the music as well, and so is Trinidad and Tobago, so thank you.
Thank you.
Last year you would have given us quite a few gems as well, and one of those actually I was blessed enough to have to hear all the time, which is Mass, Freetown Collective and Mikhail Teja. But I really want to go back to the beginnings of how you started doing this music production.
Right, so the music production started because I was originally an artist, like, so I came into the industry as an artist 2012, and I got into production because I really wasn't happy with what somebody produced. Like, I was going by producers and I wasn't really getting what I wanted. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna try and figure this out on my own. And through that, I kind of fell in love with the production side of things.
How easy was that transition going from artist to producer?
It was, I mean, I think the early years of anything like this is always gonna be challenging. You know, it's gonna be met with, you know, people not really sure what you're doing, family, friends, they support him, but they're not really sure, like, what
makes sense.
What Michael really doing, you know? So it was a lot of, you know, spending time alone, just me and a laptop, figuring out, like, how do you do this, how you figure, you know. So it took about, let's say, 8 or 9 years to get to a stage where I felt like I was decent enough as a producer to approach other artists, you know. Yeah.
I'm interested in your influences because, you know, when we hear some of these songs, I mean, for me, was it the High Street Rhythm?
High Street Rhythm, yeah.
High Street Rhythm, and then this year with Kes and Junction, that Tack Back. I don't know what was the name, if it had a name for the rhythm or not.
It wasn't even a rhythm. It was just, I guess, same like brass lines, you know, similarities.
So in those things, I realized that you use a lot of brass lines, but you use a lot of Kaiso-esque brass lines. Is that intentional?
Of course. I feel like Calypso, you know, there's so many things, I guess, unexplored that we could do with Calypso. So I always wanted to, like, you know, I'm obviously influenced by, you know, old Calypso, you know, Sparrow, Kitchener, Nelson, and I just felt like we could put a modern twist on that. So, like, you could have the brass, but you could have a, you know, a big 808 playing underneath and make it feel like, okay, like, you know, a Burna Boy could be on this, you know. So I feel like that's really what I'm trying to do with the sound now, is, you know.
Well, we're definitely experiencing and feeling the difference in the sound as well. Now, you mentioned Calypso, and of course, you also would have been on the team for Soul of Calypso, winning 2024. What was it like working on that?
Well, working with, I worked with Marshall last year on Shake the Place, but that was a little different because it was me, Teja, and a couple other producers involved in that song. So this year with Soul of Calypso, it was literally me and Marshall in the studio. And that was, I mean, last year working with him was a game changer for me, and then this year was just, you know, you see the work ethic and the kind of detail put into there's a reason why he is who he is, because that, like, I've never been around that type of work ethic. It's crazy to be around. He's really, like, one of a kind. He's like a Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant of what he does, you know?
And it's always interesting because I hear people say that about him. Everybody who works with him says that something very similar. But you're fortunate enough to share a surname.
Great.
And I understand that this year you discovered that you all are actually related.
We are related, yes. He actually told me that, I think it was a couple months ago. I saw him somewhere and he said, you know, we related, and I was like, wow, okay, cool, you know. So,
so I don't need all ancestry. We related. He says so is so.
He said he'll send me the full thing, but he hasn't sent me that yet. Yeah.
Tano, what's been your biggest challenge so far in this industry?
Wow, biggest challenge. I mean, I feel like now the challenge is really just to try and, you know, always find the next song or the next form of inspiration. I feel like definitely gonna feel that now. I felt that going into this year, but I felt like I was talking to Teja about this too, and it was really just, you know, when it comes, it will come. You know, just go with, and it sounds cliche, but you really have to just create from a a genuine place. You know, like when we made DNA, there was literally no idea of road march in mind. There was no thought of, hey, this gonna be, you know, just let's just make a great song. So I feel like the challenge is always just to find the next form of inspiration. You know?
You know, one of the people I've seen you work with, especially when you mentioned DNA there, my long-time collaborator, my brethren for life, Kyle Peters, was a part of that process as well.
The boss.
You see, and I'm very interested in finding out more about collaboration. We always talk about collaboration. How important is that in your process?
I mean, it's everything. You know, I feel like me, Kyle, Teja, you know, even Super Youth who played drums on DNA, like all these things add to, you know, make the song what it is. I couldn't do DNA without Teja, and I think, you know, vice versa without Kyle. And I think it really, you know, collaboration for me now is really everything, because, you know, I can't play a guitar like Kyle. You know, I can't do the strum that I want, you know, by myself. So I need, you know, collaboration is everything for me.
Collaboration is everything, of course, and we've seen it come to life. Let's talk about 2025, because you mentioned this journey has been 8-9 years going into producing, and of course we know you would have been in the studio months and months ago. So what's in the works for 2025?
So 2025, like I said, is really just, I mean, I have sessions starting from next week just to, you know, put down ideas. I mean, we did DNA the week after, because we started DNA the week after Carnival last year. So I think it's just really kind of like, you know, building the blocks slowly, not trying to put too much pressure. I definitely think I need to get more structured. I was telling people, like, I feel like as a creative, you know, you could be like, okay, well, you know, I'm not feeling it today, but you have to put some structure to the madness, you know? So I feel like that's the plan this year. A little bit more structure, you know, schedule sessions a little more.
Can we look forward to some more releases during the year as well?
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually trying to work on my project as well too, like a Tano project. So Tano and friends, you know, people I work with. So that's definitely something in the works as well too. You could look out for.
Do you have a keen interest in working with the next generation of talent? Because I mean, Teja, cemented himself into the industry this year for sure. Working with people like Marshall, I mean, those people are established. Cass is established. But I noticed you work with Kutain this year as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kutain is, I mean, amazing talent, you know. So we actually are supposed to have a session this week. But yeah, we definitely have more stuff in the works. I feel like even Junction opened up a whole new side to what he's trying to explore now. So you're definitely going to be hearing more stuff like that to come.
Any other younger artists that you're working with?
I mean, I'm always on the lookout for like young talent. So if anybody...
What do you look for in young talent?
Honestly, I just look for like passion. You know, I feel like obviously talent is important. You have to have the ability, but I feel like once you have the passion and like because even for me, like looking at myself as a young artist, I don't think I started off good, but I had the hunger now. So I feel like once you have that, you could get to a level where, you know, you're competing with the big boys, you know. So I look for passion. That's the main thing.
That's what helps you to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking forward to what you're going to be bringing to the table, of course, and loving the fact that, as you would have said, Rockers, collaboration, and also talking about investing in the future, because you are transitioning and evolving our music as well, so it's wonderful to see that married together. So we hope to have you on the show to talk about Tano and Friends.
Soon.
Friends.
I love it.
Soon. It's like a sitcom. Like a sitcom.
I dare. There you go.
Tano, when it comes to you know, the music in general, like what are some of the things that you think you've learned this year that I know working with other producers can have its challenges. Working with other artists can have its challenges. Mikal is a producer. You're a producer. But that collaboration seems to work. What do you think gives it that ability to work?
To work, I think there's no, well, first of all, there's no ego involved. So like Teja, when we're writing, he would literally be like, hey, I have a line, and you'd sing it and be like, I'm not sure. And it would be no like, it would be no fight. It would just be like, you know. And so I feel like when there's no ego involved, you know, you truly get the best song out of what you're trying to do. You know, it's just trying to bump ideas off each other, you know. So I think that's why we work so well together, because nobody's trying to be the boss in the room, you know. Any idea is a good idea, you know.
This is sounding like a Tano Talks as well.
So you're gonna have Tano and Friends and
a podcast.
Tano, congratulations again, and we look forward to more great work from you.
Thank you, guys.
And I know that you have a lot in store, so we're waiting to see what unfolds.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Not a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage each and every one of you to go out there and make a difference today now, because together we aspire, and if together we perspire, then together we most definitely can achieve. On behalf of Natasha Lake and Michael Tano Montano, we want to wish you a fantastic day, Rockers. We're going to close off with my favorite song, Junction, but the acoustic version. Check this out. See you guys tomorrow, God's willing.
Yes, my name is Young Ragamuffin Kute, from the east side of Trinidad and Tobago. And today I'm a brother, Nick, Salcido, Kwame, legendary Tano. You understand? So this one name is Junction, the acoustic set fit. I hope you receive it, love and light. Yeah. Oh Lord, no. Yeah. Well, I am not Mr. Benwood Dick, but I from Sandy Grande. The girl tell me she wants something quick while she had it for me. I tell her, come and settle, and we have this conversation. And if you feel interested by the things that I am saying, forward, come on, let me rock it so. I like when you do them things to me. Bruh, come on, baby, rock it slow. I like when you're focusing on me. Why? If you feel to rock it with me, darling, I don't feel I could wait a day again. I ain't talking, I lose sleep, darling. Just hold on, I need your ocean. I come in drunk or sober, I will be coming right for you. I'm ready to give you, 'cause